I have just gotten early access to CarX Drift Racing Online 2, a game we've been covering the potential release of for quite some time now. We also play a lot of CarX Street and have played Drift Racing Online as well on stream a ton, so you know I'm very excited for this, and I bet you guys are as well. And there's a few things we're going to cover today while going over some of the gameplay and talking about some of the things I love, like, and some of the things I think need to be worked on. So let's get straight into it. Now first things first, it's important to note that this is a demo, an early access build of the game before we get a full release, meaning the gameplay you're about to see might include unfinished textures, unfinished maps, unfinished customization options, and things like that, so just make sure to keep your mind open and off of some of the maybe graphical defects, etc. that you guys see within the gameplay, because it's sure to improve nearing the release, including also in the early access of the game when that releases as well. Now with that being said, let's get straight into some of my first impressions of the game and everything that I've played so far in this demo. First things first, the car list. I'm honestly super happy if this is the car list for the entire game. Obviously, hopefully it's not, but just saying their selections and the body kits and customization that is coming with these cars already is very promising and also really nice. And some of my favorite cars are in this list, like the Chaser, the M4, and the S15 as well. Other cars include the 180SX, the Supra, and also the Mustang. Now let's talk about sound design. Each car sounds very unique and all the motors sound really good. You can also swap all these motors between all the cars. Let's hear a little bit of some of my favorites, being the JZ out of the Supra, the Mustang, which actually sounds pretty good as well, and the SR20. Alrighty, really quickly here, as you guys can see, we have a brand new set of rear tires. I literally just installed them and I didn't even move, and they're at 99%. You guys are about to see for this Mustang sound design, you know, little show off right here, how quick these tires wear down. We're gonna run a big section at Fuji, something I used to run back on Gran Turismo, so let's see what happens here and let's hear this thing, most importantly. I'm going to do a quick little warm-up box, little donut real quick, and then we're going to send this section I used to run on Gran Turismo all the time. Quick little warm-up right there. Alright, send it. This thing is evil, man, but as you guys can see here, the tires in the rear got pretty hot, and I'm pretty sure if we go and check how much tire wear is left, 20%, man. Oh my god, this is insane, bro. Now, while on the topic of sound design, let's actually talk about customization and tuning, because there are a plethora of tuning options, different things you can select within your motor, and all of these affect the way your car sounds, as well as how it feels overall. This is the most important thing about this game, I think, as you guys will see when we talk about the physics a little bit later, but Tuning in this game means everything and can truly create a different feeling car, as well as all the cars in this demo genuinely feel different than each other. They feel nothing alike, and I absolutely love that. Each car should have its own unique feel. Although, for example, the 180SX and the S15 feel somewhat similar, but not really. You can tell which one has more front weight distribution than the other, shown by their graphs here as well. They have a lot of cool graphs and unique ways to go ahead and tune your car and use real life science and implement it into the game. Also, their customization model is amazing. They have front and left for each thing that you can change individually, on each side being things like fenders, mirrors, lights, etc. And then you can remove every single panel of the body, as well as they have multiple different options for each part of the body, and everything is brand new as far as models go. I think they might have been used in Drift Racing 3 on mobile, but everything looks very good and nothing like we've seen on PC. All these models are a really big step up, including all the body kits as well, and I absolutely love the options here. Painting is also cool. We have the return of color codes once again from Drift Racing Online, which is nice. So we have color codes again, which is amazing. We can save our favorite colors, reuse them on different parts, including painting underneath the hood, painting everything separately, including left and right fenders, etc. You can also paint the chassis and everything else about the car individually, including door panels. You can also paint under the trunk. It's crazy what you're able to do with just the painting, so I can't wait to see what they do with liveries. And out of the 4 tire options in this game, being City, Soft, Slick, and Sport, I prefer personally to go ahead and use the soft tires. It's pretty much the equivalent of what would be a sport tire in CarX Street or a Street Plus tire, and it feels very, very good. I think it's that perfect balance between grip and slip, but I will say that maybe you want to step it up a tire, and the reason for that is over time your tires will actually heat up and your pressure will increase and your tires will become less grippy. So you might want to go with a grippier setup than you think, unless over time you plan on having automatic tire changes, which that's kind of sad because man, it's cool to pull over and change your tires at the gas station or maybe in the pits. It's just really cool to have these options. Now let's talk about when you throw this thing into a wall, because I know you're all wondering the same thing. It's pretty insane. And also, something we're going to talk about a little bit later with the physics, your tires actually visually wear, which is super cool. They go from super gripped up, having a bunch of tread, to absolutely torn apart and absolutely destroyed. Now, before we get into some of the grip and physics changes that they've made to this game that make it completely unique, let's talk about the maps. The maps are absolutely awesome. I do want to say that these maps are some of the best looking maps I've seen in CarX games ever, to be honest, and I'm very excited because each one feels like its own little independent free roam world. We have the Fuji Speedway, we also have Ebisu Complex, and we have a reworked version of Kami Road that is absolutely gorgeous, breathtaking, and awesome to drive. As you can see by some of these roads here, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, a map is only as good as its actual driving experience, and what I have to say about the driving experience in this game is that it's completely customizable and unique and feels very good if you can make it that way. It's definitely a game where your tuning really matters. The cars do come with really decent pre-made setups, but it really takes that extra level of care to tune the car to your need, as well as all the cameras, which are fully customizable as well, which what I always have believed actually, that cameras affect your driving experience a lot, and each of these is customizable, and you can even use things like the roof cam, which is very popular in Assetto Corsa competitive drifting with the swivel, so that's pretty cool as well. Any camera that still does have a dynamic factor that can be turned on, which is pretty sick to see. Also, it's important to note that something we're going to talk about right now, which is the damage model, also does not affect your actual drivability of the car. Although, as mentioned before, you do, however, have tire wear. So for example, you will be able to visually see the tire wear and feel it as the tire heats up, etc. So that's the only form of visual and mechanical wear at the moment, but I would assume, based on the graph that's next to the map, we might have more than that in the future, coming closer to release. Now, we're going to do some tuning and stuff and make a couple other videos, as there's actually going to be a multiplayer component to this game, and some of you guys on PC will be able to pick up the demo and go ahead and play in online rooms coming Monday. So that's pretty cool to see. So October 13th, we'll be able to get into some lobbies, and we're going to be streaming that live over on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So Twitch and YouTube.com/MxgicIQ, and we will be live streaming both of those things. So that will be really sick as well. I can't wait to host some Matsuris, maybe even in the demo. That could be kind of fun, to be honest, and get in there with some of the boys and get some doors and see how much we can push this game, because that is one thing that I will say right now feels like it probably could use some work already, is the optimization. It doesn't feel terrible, but it does feel like on my PC, which I have a 4070 Super i7-12700KF and 64 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, it does feel like I need to maybe lower them off Ultra, and for a CarX game, that's never really been something I've had to do, but they are on all Ultra right now, including TAA anti-aliasing, but I might have to step those down a little bit when it gets to multiplayer, because if I had to assume on some of the bigger maps, I'm probably running somewhere between 60 and 70 FPS, so we might have to step those settings down a little bit or figure out what's really the culprit, but hopefully optimization will come and things like that will feel better. But overall, I will say I do really like how the game looks. The damage model looks cool as well. I also think the physics and everything should remain how they are or continue to improve, because I do think it's going to be a switch up for a lot of players. And as we kind of know from experience, I don't think this community really likes change too much. But guys, trust me, if you get used to it, you're able to tune these cars. And looking at it from a competitive aspect, this game is in a great spot. And I think it will be amazing. So I actually usually don't say that developers shouldn't listen to feedback, but I think they should keep their head down and keep going straight on this one, even if they receive negative backlash from the community, because I think this has something really special here, and I think it has the opportunity to attract a lot of sim enjoyers as well and really accomplish the goal they're trying to look at, which is a competitive esports drifting game, which is what the game is trying to be, guys. So keep that in mind too when you give your opinions and things like that on certain topics, because this game is trying to be a competitive drifting game. And with the modes that we see here being async duels, regular real-time duels, and esports tournaments and duels, I mean, I'm super hyped, man. It's going to be super sick to see what this actually fleshes out to be. Also, another glitch, and probably something that will be fixed, so I don't really want to make it too big of a deal, is the sound and the audio did glitch out every now and then. I feel like there was some issues with sound not working when I was in free ride, but only working in the challenges, so maybe that needs to be looked at by the devs, but it did sound really good when it worked, and the sound design in this game I think is actually spot on. So overall, I think maybe some things can be made in the settings to possibly make it more accessible for people, some presets and things like that. I also think maybe a couple other options as far as controller tuning goes, or like assist tuning goes. I personally enjoy it. I'm just trying to see it from a casual's perspective, but I personally think this game's in a great spot. Hopefully when you guys try it on Monday, if you are on PC, you guys can wishlist the game on Steam as well. If you guys want to go ahead and take a look at it, it will be available on Monday. I highly recommend you guys do. Hop in the stream, hop in some lobbies, and let's get some doors, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this little first impressions of the game and kind of breaking down what the game has to offer right now. And I hope you guys enjoy, man. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. It's MxgicIQ, and I'm out. Peace.